Around 1 year ago, I played Fire Emblem 11 in a very interesting way that resulted in 220 units dying, but this isn't anywhere near the total possible amount. I now plan to revisit Shadow Dragon, but this time I will up the ante and kill the maximum possible number of units. In the hard difficulties, it is possible for a total of 56 named characters to die, because some are mutually exclusive, and one can be revived with the Alm Staff. Normal mode has 2 more in the form of Frey and Norm, but we can forget about those because I'll be playing on hard 5 difficulty. I will consider a unit to have died if they die in combat either as an ally or as an enemy, or if the village they are recruited from is destroyed. When you have below the deployment limit of units for a chapter, you get generic units up until that limit, so you can obtain many more generic units every chapter as long as you clean house before you beat the map. I have calculated that there are a total of 336 generic units that you can obtain in this manner, and I've covered the details for the calculations in a previous video. So the theoretical number of unit deaths is actually 392 in hard modes and 394 in normal modes. This kind of run is actually fundamentally different even from more standard generic only runs, which I have actually completed in one sitting on stream as an Iron Man challenge. So let's walk through the rules and the challenges that I will face. 1. All units can be used as long as their survival does not preclude a possible death. This fundamentally means that all units can be used on their joining chapter and only on their joining chapter. Chapters 1 through 3 can be played freely as generics only start joining by chapter 4, but that's generally not even needed. 2. All units on the roster must die before the end of every chapter to ensure maximum generic unit recruitment, meaning that you cannot keep any units for more than one chapter, even generics. 3. Getting all units to die before you beat a map is not trivial. It precludes many warp skip strategies, which at minimum still leave the warp staff user alive in most situations, meaning that most maps will have to be cleared completely. 4. Weapon ranks will be difficult to obtain, so many powerful weapons like the gradivus will largely be unusable barring extreme circumstances. 5. I must visit every Gaiden chapter to maximize replacement units, so I cannot obtain Gotoh since he will not join if you play chapter 24X. I also lose access to the more powerful True Falchion, as not having it is necessary to enter a last Gaiden map. This means that my previous strategies will not work. And finally, generic units arrive with a random class, and often have a high variance in their starting stats. They generally also do not reclass well, so the team overall will be of even lower quality than in other generic runs. I will be attempting this challenge on stream on hard 5 difficulty, and while I've done challenges like this before, this one in particular surpasses them greatly in difficulty, so I do not expect to be able to Iron Man this. It may be necessary to re-roll chapters to gain a better generic unit distribution for the next chapter, but we'll see if it comes to that. Anyway, please tune in on weekends around noon Pacific time or 3 PM Eastern time when I plan to stream this. See you guys then.